Okay, now we're going to create a sketch on this. And so if we come down here to plane 1 and oops, we're going to create a sketch. And I'm going to flip this over like this. Wrong way. There we go. And we're going to use the line tool and we're going to use midpoint. And I should be able to come down here, get my inference line. And what midpoint does is it starts at the center and it goes out both directions. And I just want to click that and make sure that that line is horizontal. And then I'm going to do another midpoint line, the center of this, and roughly the same length. And now we're going to dimension that, and we're going to go from the bottom of this line to our new line. We're going to make this 5 millimeters, and we're going to do the same with this one. Okay, we can hit the green check mark. And like I've said in a lot of previous videos where I tell you that the sketch needs to be defined, when using the rib tool, it does not. This is one of the exceptions in that when we create something using these lines, as I kind of said in the previous video, that the endpoint of these lines is automatically going to find the adjacent surface next to it, and then it will become fully defined. So we don't need to do it when we're creating sketches for a rib. Like I said in the last video, they can be very, very minimal. Okay, so we can flip this around now. And we can see that it created this line on this plane, so halfway down our part. And now if I go up to features and I pick rib, you can see this yellow outline of the rib, and that's our width here. So we're going to change this to 1.5. And I can see that we've got some options here. When this extrudes, do I want it on like the front side of the line? Do I want to extrude it in both sides? So like 1.5 and go in both directions of that line? Or do I want to go basically on the second side or the opposite side of that first side? Okay, so we want to make sure that this middle one is selected for both sides. Our extrusion direction, we want normal, which means it's either going to bring it up from this line or go down in that line. And this, our other option here is parallel, which it would extrude it off to one side or the other. And so that doesn't do us any good here. We do want draft, and we're going to put in 3 degrees, and we want it outward. We want this natural. And so now when I click the green check mark, you can see the ribs that it created. And so with this sketch line, it became fully integrated with that parallel wall on the angle and up to this corner. And so again, it's a nice, easy tool to use. Okay, let's flip this part over. Actually, let's go this way. And I want to change my view to wireframe, but with hidden lines visible. And we're going to start a sketch on the right plane. We can drag this out so it's kind of not in the way. And then we're going to zoom in here, and it might be a little hard to see on my screen. It's kind of light. This is the rib that we just created. Where this line, this angled line, and this horizontal line meet, that is called the vertex. And so we want to do a line, and we want to come from the vertex, and we want to come straight out. We do not want to touch this line. We want to come straight out, and I want that line to be horizontal. And escape to get out of there. We're going to leave it undefined. And now we're going to use this to create a rib. All right, so if we go to features, rib, we're going to leave the thickness at 1.5. You can see the direction that we're extruding. We do not want to go down. So we're going to flip that. And we do want parallel this time. And now we're going to hit OK. And now it's a little hard to see, but you can see it created this rib, and it made contact with the rib that we had made. So it's fully integrated from the vertex where we started it to the rib that we made previously. All right, so let's zoom back out. And if we change this back to a solid with edges, we can roll this over and take a look. And now you can see this rib that we created. Here's the line. Here's that sketch that we used. And so it went from this surface up to this surface, and it integrated it from there between those two and then down to the bottom. Let's hide this plane. And actually, I'm just going to change this to reference plane so I know what it is. And if we want to hide this, I can drag this out, my feature tree, until this arrow shows right here. So I drag it out farther than I need to. But sometimes it's in like that where you can't see that arrow. So if I bring this out and I click on this arrow, and it shows this plane here, and if I click on that, it basically makes it invisible, and now it looks, kind of like a wireframe, just like our 3 normal planes do, just so it's not cluttering up my drawing. All right, we'll end this video here, and we'll pick up and we'll continue with the next one.